What is going on? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bleeps Crypto Show, where we talk about major crypto events in the crypto space and we focus on trading. My partners are KCEX and Weeks, so if you want to help support me, sign up at those. My name is Bleeps, and I'm your host, so please do me the favor of hitting that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified of future content if you enjoy this content, and we're going to kick this off tonight after the jump with our top stories.
It's your boy Bleeps. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, let's talk market conditions right now. Today, we've had about a $50 billion dump in the market, and that might be, when you look at the numbers, you might say to yourself, oh my God, that's a large amount. It's not really. This is just a small correction before the next leg up. That next leg up, by the way, Kalshi prediction market and Poly market both are currently setting their prediction levels at 101,000 for Bitcoin by the end of this month. So most of the prediction markets are predicting a pump for Bitcoin, not a dump, and we have not reached tax time. So what we're doing right now, in layman's terms, this is an institutional setup. What you're witnessing right now is institution reminding you of the power of the crypto market because they want your money. They want you back in the market. That is the game. So what we're about to see is going to be an enormous pump, and that could lead to an altcoin season. So make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Let's get over what's going on right now, and let's go check some trade setups. I'm not going to be long today, guys. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so once this is done, I'm just going to go pass out for the day. Trump tariffs. U.S. lowers tariffs on Taiwan to 15% ahead of potential Supreme Court ruling. Now, did that spark a rally in the market? And the answer to that was no. We didn't get a rally in the market. We ended up closing the candle down about $50 billion on the day. But if we look at that from a Fibonacci standpoint, from that impulse move right there, maybe we can say to ourselves that, you know, this might be a little bit of a dip. It might be all the dip we're going to get. We look at right there because we got that wick right there yesterday down to the 0.45. Now, the reason that the 0.45, that's that little red line right here, is so important is because if you go and you ask on Bitcoin, the Grok or ChatGPT or anything like that, like what is the most common bounce level on Fibonacci for Bitcoin? And it's the 0.45. So it actually did what it's supposed to do. Now, you know, I always tell you in my altcoin setups, it's usually that 0.5 and 0.618 all the way down to the 0.786 for newer cryptos. And by the way, if you're getting a scam wick, sometimes that will happen and you will get all the way down. But realistically, this is a good spot for a reasonable bounce in the market. So I expect to see some tremendous upside based upon this. This is a really good sign. Now, the problem with this sign is going to be this. The Supreme Court did add the delay on the tariffs. They did not make a decision on that. And it looks like they're not going to make that decision until sometime in next year or sometime later this year towards June. I'm not sure exactly when that decision is going to be made, but this is a great thing for right now. So while this is cooking, by the way, the deal will reduce the tariff that is currently at 20%. This is not a huge amount. This is a small amount, but any kind of negotiation that you have right there is a good negotiation. And they've agreed to invest $250 billion into infrastructure in the United States. I'm not sure to help develop AI chips. So we'll see whether or not this is long-term bullish. I think that it is. I think it's another deal knocked down. So if you're watching people and they're telling you that there are no deals being done, there are deals being done. Okay. Just very few. So this is one of them. It's a good sign. Also, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says that the Clarity Act progress has not slowed despite the markup postponement. Now, famously yesterday, Brian Armstrong came out and said Coinbase will not support this current thing. What it is doing, by the way, is effectively banning trading equities in crypto. That's a non-starter. And what that means is what they're trying to prevent and what the banks are trying to prevent right now is they're trying to prevent your ability to buy stocks and bonds and any other securities using tokenized assets. They're basically trying to effectively kill the market before it even gets a start. And it's because they don't control it. Now, they've gone to the Democrats. The Democrats were saying that this is fine. This is exactly what they want. And then they want they want nobody in the White House can do business in crypto, which is silly and nonsense. There should be some accountability if something happens. And I'll buy that, but what they were asking for was just absolutely too much. So in an X post, Eleanor Terra wrote that she asked Armstrong whether Coinbase withdrawing support hurt the bill's chances. He ruled that out and said many in the industry believe it's a concern. The real issue, he added, is not whether lawmakers solve the various issues now or wait for them to be addressed in an amendment. Momentum on the bill has not necessarily stalled. He said the controversy has also brought to light weakness in the draft that stakeholders are now having to address. One of the things that they wanted to was banks did not want to give yield on stable coins, and they wanted to block yield on stable coins. Now, why would they want to do that? Because they want your money in their bank and they don't want to pay you interest. So the fact that stable coins are going to pay you interest for the banks was a non-starter, because that means that banks are effectively dead in the United States. Why would you hold your money in a bank paying you, which we went over this yesterday, 0.01% interest up to 0.1% interest? Why would you put your money in a bank that's doing that when you can go to an online bank, convert it to stablecoin, and get a 3 to 4 to 5% yield off of any stablecoin that you that you stake? It makes no sense whatsoever. So effectively, there's going to be some arguments here. The banks are going to fight with one another. They're going to try to figure out what the path forward is, and we will start to see how this develops over the next little while. Also, while we're doing this, Elon Musk has cracked down on InfoFi crypto projects, which means Kaito fell 15%, but that is not all. There were more than just Kaito. Some of these other cryptos have absolutely shuttered themselves and stopped doing business because they cannot do anything and make any money. Now, Kaito founder Yuhu, come on, that's not a real name. Anyway, he revealed that there was going to be an adjustment into the rewards and how it was going to work. X has also rolled out smart cash tags. But they're worried about spam, and a couple of different companies along the way also said that what they're going to do is they're just going to stop. They're going to stop doing business and they're going to close and shutter. So it's not a great day for crypto, but I don't think this is very much. InfoFi is a very small sector of the market. And finally, here's why Ethereum's price will hit 4K by the end of January 2026. Now, the overall cryptocurrency market, blah, blah, blah. Ethereum price has also gained a new momentum. It's backed by new developments, highlighting its increased significance. Bitmine is the dominant figure in the chain, having recently invested $200 million in Beast Industries. Enhancing the bullish case for Ethereum, Ethereum ETF experienced net inflows of 175 million. It's been a good day today too. By the way, Bitcoin had a dump today while Ethereum continued to rally. So I would say that there is a really good chance that we're going to see a very, very strong move on Ethereum coming up very, very soon. The RSI right now is a little bit cooked on the daily. So it is in the overbought level, but Shaken has shifted to a positive zone. This indicates that capital inflow is playing in favor of buyers. When it plays in favor of buyers, that means money go up. Now, looking at it from the day, Ethereum had inflows of 15.2 million. Bitcoin had outflows of 29.7. XRP had inflows of 10.6, and Solana 4.9. Now, when you look at it individually, you look at the number here, and we had 29 million in outflows on Bitcoin today, but not very many people have reported. So it could end up being a nice day. It's Grayscale Bitcoin that has the outflows, but they always have outflows. So this could be another bang up day. Yesterday, we had $840 million. So over the last 2 days, we had $1.6 billion in capital inflows into Bitcoin. In Ethereum, you had the same thing, 175 million yesterday and 15 million so far today. So it's looking like it could end up being a very nice day. Yesterday, you had 24 million flowing into Solana. Today, you got 5 million flowing into Solana. And yesterday for XRP, you had 10 million. And today, you've got 10 million. So a lot of inflows coming into the markets. That's a great sign. Fear and Greed Index is up to 60 right now. It's almost time to sell your Bitcoin, guys. So, and by the way, if you bought, remember, this was so simple. It was so simple. All you had to do is follow this process, buy at 30, sell when it goes up to 70. Let's hope that it goes up to 70 so that we can sell and take some of that profit, and then let that money sit on the sidelines. I am imploring you, let it sit on the sidelines. Let it grow. Okay. Wait for the dip. What we're gonna do is, I've got a couple $1,000s worth of Bitcoin. We're gonna sell the Bitcoin when we get to 70, and then we're gonna buy it again when it comes back down to 30. Okay. Liquidity looks like it's to the upside right now in the short term, which is also bullish. Now let's look at the charts and let's see what's going on. Total, again, we had $50 billion in outflow today, but I don't think that that is a major number. I don't think that's a major obstacle. The news that we're getting right now is pretty bullish across the board. We're not getting any kind of wild signals right now that are telling us we need to get out and exit these markets. So crypto total market cap probably on the upflow. I gave you this kind of breakout where I thought it was going to go. Of course, it came up here a little bit faster than what we predicted. I said that, we might get this little downward momentum here, but then we'll break above. We get a nice break above, and then we get a break back down into the range. And that's exactly what we're getting right now. Although it's breaking down just a little bit lower, still close enough that we're right about it. And then I think that we've got a breakout going to 3.45 trillion market cap. We're at 3.25. We're at 3.2 trillion market cap right now. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? Bitcoin doing the same thing right now. I would suspect we're going to see a little bit more dip, maybe back down to that 94.2. I reset my buy order for 94,200. Now, here's what I'm going to do, by the way. That buy order is for $500. If that $500 gets filled and it goes up to 99,392, I'm not sure what the margin on that's going to be. I'm going to be using 5x leverage. So let me give you the number here. It's going to be about 5%. So 5 times 5 is going to be about 25%. So that 500 is going to be 625 if I win that trade. If I win that trade, I'm going to change it into spot Bitcoin, and then I'm just going to move it to my Bitcoin wallet, and that's where I'm going to hold it. And it's going to go in with the rest of the Bitcoin that I have right now. And again, when we get to 70 on the Fear and Greed Index, I am going to sell it all. Once I sell it all, we're going to be done with that until it goes back down to 30. I'm going to prove to you guys that you can become a millionaire just with a couple $1,000s worth of Bitcoin in this market. All you have to do is follow the signals and allow Bitcoin to do what Bitcoin does. So that's what we're going to do. Bitcoin right now, I think, again, it could see a move down to 94.2. Hope that fulfills the order, but then ultimately we are headed to 100,000, 100 to 101,000. Then I think we're going to have some correction again, and then we'll see what happens with the market after that. Ethereum, again, I've already told you guys, I think that the market is pricing it in for a big explosive move. And where does my arrow end? At 4,000 right here, where the market is telling you that 4,000 is going to be the next tier. So what we're going to do right there is we're going to take that right there, drop it in. That's going to be about 4,000 right there. I really would feel more comfortable right here at 39.50, but we're going to call it 4,000. Anyway, so I think Ethereum is on its way to 4,000. Solana broke down after this. I suspect that we're going to have a breakdown here to about 130 again. This is the logical place. I would not recommend that you get into any FOMO. I don't think that there's going to be very much there. So let that dip come down and then let that rip happen. XRP, now my XRP, by the way, I am tracking my trades through Track My Trades. So if you guys want to see them, this is what we got so far. Remember that World Liberty Financial that we took last week. I ended up making $127 off of that one. And then my XRP trade from a couple days ago made $58 on that one. I just scalped it for like 10%, 14%, something like that. But it was $2.04, and then it went up to $2.13. Now, it did go up to about $2.20, I want to say, on the rally. It went up to a little bit higher, went up to $2.40. Went up to $2.40, so I'm sorry, wait, no, that's not right. It went up to here. It went up to $2.18, or close to $2.19 maybe. Yeah, about $2.19. So it went up to $2.19, but I got my money. And I took my scalp, and I'm good. Now, if I were still in the trade, I would still be up, but I wouldn't be up to 213. So now I'm just looking to re-enter the trade. And by the way, it triggered today to re-enter the trade. I just don't have a buy set for it, but we did make some money off of it. So every time I do it, if you want to, by the way, down below, trackmytrades.ai, you can sign up today. You have to manually put it in, or you can connect it to your exchange of choice. If you want to do some of your trades, you can go to My Trades over here, and then you can add a trade, and then you can do like a screenshot ad, or you can do an import trade via CSV, or you can do an auto trade ad, or you can do a manual trade ad. And by the way, you can go right here, do it on spot or future, long or short, select your trading pair. Also down here, it'll ask you to select your exchange, so you can connect to your exchange, and you have the information that you need right there, making it pretty easy for you. And now, wait, I forgot I have a new ad to run. I forgot about it. So let's run the old one. Risk-based gaming and prediction markets are all the rage, and that's where TerraCasino.io comes into play. Guys, the smart money is in TerraCasino.io. Are you smart right now? If you do, you already got a login. If you're not, it's time to smarten up and get yourself a login. Go to TerraCasino.io and sign up today. Link in the description down below, and start your risk-based gaming adventure right now. If you're trading meme coins or utility coins, and I do have a list, you know what the list is, but Terraport.finance is your place to go. They have everything you need. They have a deep pool of liquidity, and Terra Luna Classic is blowing up right now. You've seen the charts. And if you're trying to track your trades, then trackmytrades.ai is the place to go. Link in the description down below. You can track all of your trades. You can find out how successful you've been, and an automated tracker is available to you by subscription. All you have to do is sign up today. Traders everywhere are quitting their jobs left and right because this new trading indicator just turned TradingView into a profit printing machine. This is the best trading indicator that I have ever seen. This beast scans every market on TradingView, crypto, forex, stocks, you name it, it will find you entry points, and it's going to pinpoint high probability reversal zones, and it's going to do it in real time. You're looking at it on the screen right now. In fact, not only does it give you that, but it gives you sell strength indicators, and it bases them on when you should be selling after you're being asked to enter a trade. With a 90% success ratio, can you afford not to get involved on this? I'm going to ask you. This Crusader Signals indicator is the indicator that makes legends. Grab it now, link below. Don't trade blindly. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be checking this out, true believers, for the next couple of months. Guys, I think this is the next great indicator. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right. All right, so signing up to any one of those absolutely helps me out tremendously. Let's get into chat here real quick. We got Juice in the house. What's going on? Latama's in the house. Roy G and Penguin. Guys, I apologize. I didn't set a notification or anything for this today. I just, oh God. I just didn't get, oh fuck. I'm not feeling it today, so I'm going to end this early, and I'm going to end up going to bed. So, and part of that was I just spaced when it went. So we're going to go through a bunch of different things. And Roy G, yeah, we're going to talk about Definity in just 1 second. We're going to move back over here, though, to Tau. Tau had a dip today off of that rip over 300. Went to 302. I said 305. I set it at 300, but I felt like 305. Didn't max out to 305. Went to 303. I then came back down. And like, if I'm talking about it, and we're a couple bucks off. Yeah, what am I doing, right? So anyway, bounced off at 300, then came back down into this consolidation. You can see that this just been kind of a consolidation zone right there. But if you're in this area and that's happening, then the likelihood is that you're going to break back towards that upside. Now, I would think there would be a cleansing kind of dip right there, back down to 260, 270. If I take it from Fibonacci and I just go from where the impulse move is, right there to right there, then 263, maybe 259, 260, somewhere in that range seems to be a pretty comfortable spot. So look for Tau, maybe have a dip, but then absolutely rip after that. BNB, same thing. I think we're going to have that breakdown. Like the more I look at the charts right now, the more I'm thinking that we've got a little bit more downward momentum over the next couple days. We need to bounce off of our support levels to reestablish trust, if you will, and then have that next big move. Avalanche at 1380. Avalanche, by the way, I think that's a pretty good deal. If you look at it from this context, and just, you know, again, we're just simplifying this whole thing, right? You look at it from this context right here, and you see which way it's going right now. You see that it's in an enormous uptrend, but that uptrend right there, we're at the bottom of the range, which means that this is the spot where it bounces. It comes here, bounces hard, comes here, bounces hard, comes here, should bounce hard. So if you want, then I would say that Avalanche, you're taking a risk, by the way. You're taking a risk, but I think that would be a good entry spot right now for Avalanche. Terra Luna Classic had a dip today, about 4.5%. Again, the rest of the market did the same thing as the market ate up about $50 billion as people took profit. So no big moves anywhere, but I still think it's moving up here into that 68 range, coming up very, very soon. Trump meme coin kind of idled where it was 3 or 4 days ago. Again, there's another surge coming for the Trump meme coin. You make the deals you make the tariffs, you do all these kind of things, and eventually the money comes rolling around. Near Protocol had a breakdown off of that last impulse move, breaking down to the 786 on Fibonacci, by the way, those are the kind of moves that you want to see to establish that you've probably got some aggressive move coming. If you look at it from the bottom to the top to the bottom, it came down to the 786 right there, top to the bottom to top. Is that Linkin Park? Did I just accidentally recite some Linkin Park lyrics? From the bottom to the top to the bottom, something like that. Anyway, so Fibonacci broke down to the 786. It's probably going to rally to the 236. Where is the 236? By the way, that's at $1.83. So Near Protocol probably running back up to $1.83 over the next couple of hours. Ondo, still not seeing anything out of Ondo. Still in that downward trend. We're not getting any kind of movements there. Pendle, kind of the same thing. It broke down below this little trend line right here. Don't like to see that happen. But if it breaks back in today, we'll be fine. If it doesn't, then expect to see some, again, this is just a sign of potential downward pressure. SWE, not showing enough strength after that little pump right there. But again, if you look at it from this standpoint and you go from the impulse move, it's bouncing off of the 4.5, but it's not showing strength on that 4.5. So could be coming down as well. Dev, nothing bullish about Dev right now. I'm still waiting for, some kind of, now, by the way, if you were to take an objective look at Dev, then I'm going to point this out because, I don't want you to think I'm not bullish on Dev, but it's 34,000 in buys, 35,000 in sells. You can see that. Let me get out of the way here. Like, what the fuck? I can't get out of the way. 34,000 behind my head, 34,000 in buys, 35,000 in sells, which means that it's basically a toss up, right? So it's a toss up on the day. If it's a toss up on the day, then why is it not ripping? Like, why is it coming down 5% in 24 hours? Well, the answer to that is actually Ethereum. Ethereum dumped, and that's the pairing. So that's why you're seeing that happen. We're going to stay with that watch list for just a second here. Definity. Definity is the one that I want to talk about a lot. Now, so that you guys know, Bloomsbury Money is the parent company for Definity. Okay. Now, what has happened here is, there we go. I'm going to read it right here. Midnight Foundation selects Bloomsbury Money for Forex cross-border transfers and e-money solutions. Now, Midnight Foundation is Charles Hoskinson. That is the, what do we call that? Cardano. That is the Cardano thing. That's the Midnight Foundation is the Midnight, oh my God, I can't, privacy crypto. Oh my God, I couldn't even say privacy in my brain. That's the privacy crypto. So this has been announced by Bloomsbury, but it has not yet been announced by Midnight Foundation. Okay, now this is going to be one of those things where Midnight, you got the Midnight Network right here, and you haven't seen them make an announcement yet about this Bloomsbury partnership. And that should mean, let me make sure Midnight Foundation didn't do it. Yeah, they haven't done it yet. So they haven't made their announcement just yet, but there are some articles that are now circulating about it. So you're starting to see nibbles at the price action right here. And I think that's what I was trying to tell you guys before. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I knew that something big was in the works. So what I expect to see right now is I expect to see the Midnight Foundation and Charles Hoskinson any moment now pick up on this and start to reveal this partnership, that's how they're going to transact money. And then I think Definity is going to absolutely blow up. So if you don't have a bag of Definity at this point, shame on you. In fact, you've already missed about 15% of that pump because I told you a couple days ago to do it. So if you acted like a dirt and didn't do it, you got one more shot right here. And by the way, I don't know if that's going to make it a huge move. What I think is going to happen is like Big Pay and people like that who are big Cardano maxis, Crow, Jason Appleton, Crypto Crow, those guys who are Cardano guys, they're probably going to be talking about Definity and they're going to be talking about this partnership, and that's going to attract a lot of Cardano money. And look, this is at a $2 million market cap right now. It could easily go to a $10 million market cap and would still be grossly undervalued for that. That's a 5x away from where it is right now. So really start thinking about $50 million market cap. That's 25x from where we are at this point. And I think that's going to happen when we start to get that announcement. You're going to start to see like a big move like we're looking at over here. One of these just big moves back towards that upside. You're going to see some momentum start right there on Definity. So if you don't have a bag, you should probably get a bag. Again, it's underserved. It's underserved right now because it's not being reported by Midnight Foundation. Midnight Foundation will make that, they will report that at some point very soon. So your time is running out. Also, Aerodrome, again, bounced off of its range. Looks like it's probably coming back in here. My entry is still going to be around $1 right now. As a matter of fact, that's an old one to begin with. Let's drop that one. Right now is a good entry point for Aerodrome. So, I would just do it. Just do it. Just go. Avantis, by the way, I think Avantis is going to have another breakout coming up pretty soon. I'm going to go down the list here just for a little bit here. Dash still breaking out, still having a nice little run. That rally does not look like it's over. Starting to rally even more today, and then that's going to be about it. Nvidia had a nice big day right now, still at or near the top of its all-time high. So Nvidia still the king. So that's it, guys. I got to go. I'm going to have to lay down and chill out for a little while. Just not feeling it today. So thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, it's not financial.